Hello, I'm Doug Smith, and welcome to another edition of Portsmouth This Week, the voice of Portsmouth Town Hall. Today is the 9th of August, 2013. My special guest today is George Wardwell, who's the 375th Steering Committee Chair of our parade. Welcome, George.
Good morning, Doug.
I want to talk to you a little about the parade itself, and I want to preface this, though, by saying when we were trying to find somebody that we thought the parade's a major undertaking here in this 375th celebration. And when we were thinking about someone to kind of pull this thing together, I immediately felt like we needed to get a veteran or somebody that had some military background. And I think it's been proven true. George here is the veteran of the year for the VFW Post 4487 last year in Middletown. And he's essentially all over the island and Rhode Island when it comes to Veterans Affairs. So, George, I can't thank you enough for taking it on. Let me ask you, have you ever organized a parade before? What's it like trying to get going with this thing?
Absolutely not. Actually, it was an undertaking I wasn't sure if I was capable of doing, so.
Oh, you're doing a great job. I mean, you're really doing great. And what's interesting is you don't even live in Portsmouth, you live in Middletown, and you still volunteered to do this. So I think it's great. Why did you take this on?
One of the reasons is because I love a parade. My childhood, we always, from the American Legion, we always were responsible for organizing parades. And being the past commander of the American Legion post in Portsmouth, I thought it would be a great thing to publicize the American Legion and all the good thing we do. So
yeah, I know the American Legion usually they do this generally in most towns anyway. They're big organizers and things like that. I know you've got a real good cadre of folks on your parade committee that are really the drivers of this thing. How did you get these people?
We tried initially from the steering committee, but from that we sprung off into some of the people that I've known in veterans organizations. Some of them were members of the American Legion Auxiliary. So I figured a lot of those people we could depend and rely on. So
yeah, so you went right back to the veterans because those are the go-to folks in this thing, and it's working out really well. I was looking the other day at what we currently have as the lineup in the parade. I'm quite impressed. It seems like there are over 45 entries coming into this thing. What kind of divisions do you have, and how do you have them sort of organized?
Well, our primary division will be the Marshal's Division. It will include the Grand Marshal Louis Escobar. We have several dignitaries coming. We have the Town Council, the Steering Committee, and the School Committee. They're going to march. Then we have the Military Division, which will include the 88th Army Band from Warwick. And we have a lot of VFW American Legion representatives coming in that division. And then we go down to the community. Yeah. The community division, which is the one we try to attract businesses and people from the general Portsmouth area to allow them to participate in the parade. And also we have the youth division, which will include the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, and Naval Sea Cadets, and some local dance troops.
Yeah, that's great.
So
I thought one of the impressive things to me was when we were able to finally get the 88th Army Band. This is the Rhode Island National Guard Band, and they actually claim that they were founded themselves in 1638 in Portsmouth, right down at Founder's Brook, which is where they started drilling back in those days. So it's kind of their 375th as well. But the other thing is we got the Navy Band too, the Navy Marching Band, and the High School Marching Band. The Portsmouth High School is nationally known, a well-recognized band. So it really is starting to really look like it's going to be a great parade. Did you get any? Are you getting any support from, aside from just the logistics and safety stuff, from the police and fire? Are they going to be marching in our parade too?
Yes, the police department is actually going to kick off the parade. They've been very supportive of all of the questions that we had along the planning phases of the parade. They're going to be spearheading road closures and stuff of that nature, so that on parade day we won't have to have volunteers in the middle of the road. And the fire department, they've been absolutely great, and they're going to enter a truck.
Okay, so we'll have a fire truck in there too. Huh? Now, you know, we are right across the bridge from probably the best known 4th of July parade anyway in the country over here in Bristol. Have you been able to learn something from looking at these other parades and also the one down in Newport, the St. Patrick's Day parade and the police parade?
Yes, we have. We've initially we tried to think of some of the things that would benefit us in organizing our own parade. So we did actually contact the chair of the Bristol 4th of July committee, and he was very helpful. He offered some things that we obtained some examples of lessons learned, so to speak, from their website, and I happen to know the parade secretary for the Newport Police Parade, Liz Sylvia, and she was very helpful. She provided me with some examples of forms to use, so yes, they've been very helpful.
Yeah. The parade itself, how long do you think it's going to take from start to finish, would you say?
I think once we have the kickoff, it seems as though an hour and a half to 2 hours should be adequate.
How long is the parade route?
1.6 miles.
Yeah, okay. What I kind of like to do is I wonder if you kind of walk us through. We have a little graphic over here, if we can get that on camera. And if you could kind of walk us through, George, perhaps, well, where they're coming in and where we're staging at and where the route is.
Sure. We are recommending that people come in on Sprague Street from either Bristol Ferry Road or East Main Road. They're going to go up Sprague Street and they're going to enter the parade area for staging on Education Lane. Once they're on Education Lane, they will go through a registration process to make sure we know which units are there, and then they will be guided to the specific divisions that they're assigned to, and there'll be a bunch of volunteers at that area helping them line up and make sure they're properly in place prior to the parade start. And then once we have everyone lined up, and at 10 o'clock in the morning when we commence the parade, we'll be going down Patriot Drive, and then we'll come out on East Main Road, and we're going to travel down East Main Road until we get to Freeborn Street. We're going to go across Freeborn Street by the public library, and then we're going to go up Turnpike Avenue, and then once we get to Memorial Drive, back to the high school. So it will become a loop.
Okay.
We do intend to set up a reviewing stand in this area on Memorial Drive, so once you turn on Memorial Drive, the dignitaries will be able to view the entire parade once they reach this point.
Okay. I should point out too that this is Portsmouth High School. You're talking about the staging area.
Yes.
And this is also generally the route of their annual homecoming parade, which I think goes off in another month or so. And the way you're able to do all this stuff is by volunteers.
Yes.
And so why don't we get into that a little bit? How many volunteers do you have? How many do you need? And how can people help out?
Well, there again, it's, some of these things are hypothetical, and we're doing a lot of guesswork, but we initially thought we would need up to 35 volunteers. Right now, we have at least 25 committed volunteers, and they have actually been, we did one of our meetings on site at the high school so that we would be able to show the volunteers where their positions would be and detail their assignments at each of these positions. So we still have room for a few more volunteers, and I'm actually getting some calls and emails from people that want to do this thing.
Okay,
so.
we just, FYI, we have your email address and your phone number up on the screen right now, so folks can call you if they'd like to come down and help and spend a couple hours helping us out doing this stuff. Yeah, this is a massive undertaking here. I don't think people realize, I don't think you did, or nor did I, how complex this thing is. And the idea that you can manage all this with volunteers is kind of interesting. I know that both Chief Furtado of the Portsmouth Police and also Chief Cranston of the Fire Department have been big supporters. They'll be putting some word out on, as you say, on the road closure, which is going to be closed for those couple of hours in the morning on Saturday. And it's really become kind of an all-community effort here to get this thing moving. And we're hoping to get, as you say, the town council and some other folks. We're hoping to get a couple town clerks, for example, in the parade. And I think it's great that they can come out and people can see them and celebrate this great occasion. So
actually, I was interested while talking with people in the town itself spontaneously. I was amazed to find so many people that would say to me, "Portsmouth never has a parade."
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of interesting because we actually should have more.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, getting to that, I think, this, again, we use the occasion here, the 375th anniversary of the town. But I think there is a good point to make here, and that a little bit of this pomp and circumstance stuff and ceremony, I think, can be good. And I know Newport's going to have their 375th starting in 1 January. Presumably, you'd recommend that they also hold a parade or do something in honor of their 375th as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think you can't go wrong by going to the veterans groups. Again, we're not done with this event yet. But looking back, can you think of anything that you might have done earlier or done differently in the planning or anything? Or it seems like you've been very methodical as you go about this thing.
I think the most important part is to start early. Allow yourself a goodly amount of time, maybe up to a year, depending on, because it requires an awful lot of behind the scenes, administratively, and we want to invite the units that do a good job in a parade. We really, so therefore I think the early planning is critical.
Okay. Can people, if people still want to, we're up against what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? If people still want to get into the parade, can they? Is it possible?
Well, actually we don't know 45 units is pretty well booked up. But yeah, sure. If somebody wants to really get in the parade, please call me or send me an email, and I will get back to them. We'll make a decision. Okay,
case basis, because we're pretty well booked up right now. Now, have you found that generally people are starting to understand we're having a parade in Portsmouth on the
It's
30th?
been tough.
Yeah.
Nobody knows about the parade. Well, as much effort as we put in.
Yeah, so. I know. Tell me about it. It's the same thing with basically the 375th, and people should know it's on Saturday morning, 30th of August.
31st.
31st of August, Saturday morning, from 10 to 12. And as you say, all along East Main Road and up Turnpike would be places to view this, and even inside up by the reviewing stand up Memorial Drive.
Yes. Would
be a good place to watch this from. And one thing I noticed down at the bottom of our route, you cut that corner so the route actually goes behind the bank. Mm-hmm. And I assume that's for some of the floats perhaps and the trailers maybe and things like that.
There were some considerations made on the flatbed, the length and the things that they're carrying on them. So
yeah. Okay, George, thanks very much for joining me today. We're just about out of time, and I wish you the best, and I'll be there to help you as well. But as I'm hoping other people will call up. Join us. This is a community affair, and we'd like everybody to take part.
You're welcome.
Okay, thanks,
My
George.
pleasure.
Thank you. Welcome back. My next guest today is Deborah Correa. Deborah is the committee chair of our Portsmouth 375th Family Picnic, which will be held at Glen Park on Sunday, 1 September, from noon to 6 p.m. And this is the final event we have planned for our gala weekend, so this is kind of a really significant event, and it should be a lot of fun. Deborah, first, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And can you give me an idea what is this family picnic all about, anyway?
Oh, well, what we're about is community, family, and fun. Portsmouth is one of the finest towns in Rhode Island, and with a rich history, as you know. And we're inviting all our family, friends, neighbors to come participate, share your smiles and your commitment, like ours, to Portsmouth. One of our goals is to support the Portsmouth Library history and artifact projects, and not only will you have fun, you'll help raise money to support that goal.
Yeah, and we're very lucky that we have Glen Park to be able to do this, and the whole area is just absolutely beautiful. So, it should be a great chance for everybody to come together.
Exactly.
Now, what kind of events and activities do you have planned for this?
We have lots of games for all ages. We have duck toss, a duck pond, and little children can pick up ducks, find a number on there, and pick a prize.
Get a prize, okay.
Whether it's football toss, dunk tank.
The dunk tank, oh yes, the dunk tank.
Wonderful time to get your CEO, the president of your company,
Yeah.
fellow colleagues to come in and have some fun and dunk them.
Yeah. I'm trying to talk Jim 70 into wearing his bikini briefs and coming down and being dunked.
That's another show.
Yeah, right. But I'm not having a lot of luck with Jim, unfortunately. But
The rest of the town council, great time
they
to
should
show their
step up.
support.
That's right.
You
This is a
know,
way to show their support.
Exactly. We always see them in a serious mood.
Yeah.
It'd be a great time
So
for them
these are
to
games
show their
for children of all ages, I take it. then.
Correct, it is.
Yeah. You're also doing some demonstrations of different things. I know the Newport Artillery Company is going to be there.
Yes.
What else do you have planned?
Bobby Back will be making the small cannonballs. I might not say that name right. Also firing off the cannon. We have New England helicopter crew, which will have their model helicopters, and they have the large the field behind the where the games will be. Large area. They'll be answering questions, showing demonstrations of different size helicopters, which is fantastic.
Are they going to fly a few up there, do you think?
Oh, most definitely.
Right.
I went down for the practice, and
Wow.
what a spectacular! It's like giant
Yeah.
dragonflies flying
Yeah.
around. We have National Guard coming down. They will bring their Halo jumper along with a Humvee. So a great time to try that out. We have Marvelous Marvin, who will be showing juggling, teaching
Okay.
classes. That'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
it's really starting to sound like a town fair almost. It sounds like it's
It
gonna be a lot of
is,
fun.
and that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
You know? Large group of people there.
I know that you've got food and some special food, but what kind of food will be available?
We
at
will.
the,
We will be selling tickets for Cabral's gourmet chicken.
Right.
We know, pretty famous around here from Bristol. That will include half a chicken, sweet corn, roll, coleslaw, cranberry sauce, and a drink.
Yeah, it sounds pretty impressive, and I know that that chicken will feed a family of 4 probably, but that's great.
Exactly.
And so I know for certainly for the chicken, they can probably buy food from. I understand the Grange is going to be supporting. They're going to be sending hot dogs and hamburgers,
That's correct.
so they can buy that there. But if they want to get Cabral chicken, they have to order that beforehand, and so they have to get tickets. Where can they get tickets for this?
Of course, they will be sold at the Portsmouth Credit Union. Also, on our website, which is portsmouthri375.com,
Right.
and we'll also provide times where they will be sold at the public library.
Yeah, and we'll be selling those at the public library along with our reception tickets and ornaments on Tuesdays from 5 to 7, excuse me, yeah, from 5 to 7 in the evening, and then on Saturday from 10 to 12, 10 to noon. So people can get these tickets, and they probably should get them pretty soon because I think we have to turn in our final order like a week before.
Yes, the last day for ticket sales will be August 24th, so please buy now.
Yeah, and the price is reasonable. Just come out, and this also helps support the 375th, and as you say, the library project and everything else that we're trying to do here.
Correct.
This all sounds really great, and I know the kids will be excited to learn. I think the fire truck's going to come down, the ladder truck, they're going to do a bunch of other stuff.
Yes,
There's
they
so
will.
much going on, Deb, that you've put together with your group.
Thank
But
you.
it sounds like it's going to be very labor intensive. We need volunteers, and
We do.
how do you see this volunteer thing? How can people sign up? What kind of jobs do you have, and how can people help out here?
Well, first, the event will take place from noon to 6 p.m. Sunday the 1st. Anyone that would like to volunteer, just to ensure them, they don't have to be there for the whole time.
Sure, a couple hours even.
A couple hours would be great. What we would do is even separate, if you can provide 2 hours, a half-hour shift, so they can go maybe to the games, monitor, sell some tickets, collect the tickets, so they can also work the park and not feel like they have to sit in one place. we want them to enjoy.
So
we want it to
they
be
can come
fun
down and they can
for
also
our
take part in
volunteers.
everything as well as helping out.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I should say
It's
that
supposed to be a fun thing. We don't want to make someone a slave to one area
yeah,
and feel bad.
and it's such a beautiful area. If we have good weather for the event, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I should mention that Deborah's name and contact information is occasionally up on our screen here, and people can contact you directly
Anytime.
to just to sort of sign up to be a volunteer and
Yes.
plan on coming down. This thing is something that not only adults but also young adults and other people can volunteer. I know running the games and something, for example, could be done by a teenager or some other young adult.
And if somebody, maybe your family's visiting, it's Labor Day weekend. Great time to have your family come down. They could, maybe a grandparent wants to bring their grandchildren there. They can sit, maybe collect the tickets or sell the tickets while they watch their grandchildren play and their grandchildren's friend or your children,
Yeah.
Their friends to play.
Yeah.
So there's a task for everybody, all ages.
Now, what would you recommend people? Glen Park is a park. There's one small area that I think probably is where the band's going to be set up. That's under cover there.
Actually, what we'll do is we're planning on starting it off at 12 noon, high noon. We have a bugler coming in, and they will raise the colors.
Okay.
Have the national anthem. That will kick off the whole day. We have the Town Howlers, which, of course, a famous square dancing group.
Bob Hamilton and the Town Howlers, they are world famous, these guys.
They are.
They're big over in Portsmouth, England, I just to let you know that.
They will be demonstrating under the pavilion. And then we also have Four Bridges, which is a New England bluegrass band. Two of the local participants, I want to say, well, they're younger than me, so kids. Ben Marshall and Jeremy are from Portsmouth. Our Portsmouth, not England.
Okay, and they're part of the band?
And they are part of the band.
Oh, cool.
And we have Russ Hermanson and Jeremy Place also in that band. They will be the main entertainment for the day. Enough separated, so we have the Town Howlers that will participate in, demonstrating, and then we have the bluegrass band. You can sit on the lawn, listen to the band, also watch the events going on.
So bring a chair, a blanket, a folding chair, or something to come down there and get comfortable on it.
Yes.
And it sounds like there's going to be something going on all day. And what's really cool is it sounds like it's really kind of an all Portsmouth thing here that we're doing. We got a lot of local folks.
Yes,
I mean,
do.
Cabral, world famous Cabral is right across the bridge, but they're kind of local. They're pretty local to us. I know you've been putting a lot of effort in this, and what's really interesting, I don't know how you do this because you're also the 375th secretary for the committee. It's got to be tough. But I think you guys are doing a great job, and I'm just hoping that we can get more volunteers to come out, because to make something like this work well, you need more rather than less people. You don't want to have to stretch yourself.
Definitely.
And you want to have people be able to take over after each other or for each other and let other people just walk around.
And I like what you said, yes, our community, of course, this 375 Portsmouth, but we consider our fellow towns and cities, like Bristol, where Cabral's is, part of our family, our community.
Yeah, that's right.
So we are inviting, when we say neighbors, not only your neighbor next door
not only
to
Plymouth
you,
Island, but also
Newport, Middletown, Tiverton, everyone's invited
even
in our
Little
community.
Compton,
And volunteers, as you know, I'll put a plug in. I'm also a volunteer for the Red Cross.
Yes.
And if you're familiar, the Red Cross a youth group is also going to be in attendance, and they are volunteering. The youth group, they support the community. They will help and assist in serving food and also with the games. So we're asking, when we say community, volunteers from anywhere.
Yeah.
We would
I'm
like
hoping
them to
too we
join.
can get some scouts, Boy Scouts and other folks to come down and help out, and
local schools. So we will be providing certificates to any volunteers, not just
I
students.
think that's important. That's a good point. We can provide community service certificates to students who need those or might want those for the Honor Society or whatever other things. And I think I know Bob Littlefield has put the word out at the high school trying to get kids. I probably should send something to the guy at the middle school as well, just to try to. But I think Dave Crossan may be also kind of handling that.
And just anyone knowing that you participated in this historic event.
It will be historic. It will be historic. And
375 years for our town.
I know. And the thing is, this is our big weekend, and this is the final day. And by the way, I'll be bringing down. You know, we still have our VIP, our main VIP guest, the Lord Mayor of Portsmouth, England, and her companion will be still here on Sunday. I think a couple of the others are leaving in different schedules. But I'll be bringing her down and showing her around. So this is also an opportunity for anybody in Portsmouth to just come down and say hello to the Lord Mayor of our namesake city over in Portsmouth, England. Really nice people, and they treated us so well, the folks that went over there, that we really want to reciprocate. So Deborah, I just want to thank you very much for joining me today. And please, again, I reiterate, give us a call. We need volunteers to do this, and Deborah's done a great job of pulling it all together, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Hi, you may have seen this sign around town. The British are coming. This is essentially talking about our gala weekend, which we have planned from the 29th of August through 1 September. This includes our gala reception at Glen Manor House on the 29th, Thursday the 29th, from 5 to 7 p.m. Only 200 tickets can be sold due to the limitations on space. I have to tell you that over half have sold already, so if you really want to come down there and meet our VIP guests from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Portsmouth, Virginia, and our special guest from Portsmouth, England, the Lord Mayor of Portsmouth and her companion, you need to buy those tickets and get them right now. You can buy those tickets online on our website at the People's Credit Union down by Clements. And also, you can go to the library on Tuesdays from 5 to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 to 12 p.m. and there'll be somebody there selling them. So that's our first major event, and that's when we first introduced the Lord Mayor and the other visitors to our community. The second day, of course, is our choral music and wine tasting at Greenvale. It starts at 6 p.m. It's free. It's open to the public. Again, another opportunity to come down and meet our VIP guests. And it should be a lot of fun, and you can taste some of that great, very delicious Greenvale wine, particularly our 375 vintage. And then the next day, Saturday, is a big day for us. In the morning from 10 to 12, we have our parade, which takes place on a loop down by the high school, down towards the library and back up to the high school. From about 2 p.m., we're going to have a cannon firing down on the Bristol Ferry Town Common at the very end of Bristol Ferry Road. And in the evening, we'll have a polo match, the UK versus the US, down at the polo field, the Newport International Polo Field, which of course is in Portsmouth. And then Sunday is another great event. That's our family picnic, and we expect everybody to come down to Glen Park and enjoy the festivities. Doug Smith, thank you very much. See you on Portsmouth This Week next time.
British are coming, the British are coming. The great Portsmouth 375th anniversary grand celebration will be around Labor Day weekend, so plan to avoid the traffic and stay home in Portsmouth to join in the fun. Honored guests will be the Lord Mayor of Portsmouth, England, and the mayors of Portsmouth, New Hampshire and Virginia, arriving for a reception at Portsmouth's Glen Manor House on Thursday, August 29th. The public is invited, but tickets will be limited.